Surrounded by rubble and shattered windows in a province where thousands died, a baby girl is born. Like so many others, her 21-year-old mother Emily had her home destroyed in the typhoon. But her child arrived safely, albeit on the floor of an airport control tower. Outside, a transport plane was arriving, heavily laden with food and emergency supplies. It's badly needed. But the plane also provided an escape for many desperate to leave. Priority cases, the sick, the elderly, and those with children. People who will have to rebuild their lives away from their devastated city. This airport was badly damaged, but its runway remains open, providing a crucial link to the outside world. There's no shortage of aid heading to the Philippines. This was supplies being loaded in Malaysia, but the challenge is getting it to where it is most needed.
Our concerns are mostly with logistics. So a lot of roads are not passable yet. And that means that I really cannot guarantee that people will get their aid on time. All I can say is that we see that the government is doing a tremendous effort in getting food and water and shelter out, and so are the aid agencies on the ground. But the reality of it is that a lot of areas are simply not accessible at the moment.
Even in a country which endures 24 typhoons every year, the scale of the destruction is beyond their experience. Officials say this is the Philippines' worst ever natural disaster. It wasn't just the record-breaking 175-mile-an-hour winds which ripped buildings apart. It was the surge of sea water it whipped up, which swept ashore and flattened almost everything in its path. It's impossible to know how many people have been killed. 10,000 may be a conservative estimate. The desperate situation has led to looting in some places.
You have to understand that the people here show some, and just a few, some violent actions because they're hungry, because they're thirsty. It's not because they want to harm anybody.
Having seen what had happened in the Philippines, China and Vietnam prepared for the worst as Typhoon Haiyan headed their way. But by the time it arrived, it was just a normal tropical storm. Even so, it still brought widespread flooding and more casualties. Ian Woods, Sky News.